What's up? What's up? What's up? Multicam black M1 Grand chest rigs. Pretty cool. Don't think we've ever made those in multicam black. Hellos. Multicam black wrench rolls. Full of wrenches. Crossbones, what up? Patrick, what's up? How are you? JT, what's going on? Black fanny packs. I don't think we've ever made those in black. 2 round multicam black shotgun cards. Coyote, tear off IFACs. Those are the big ones. Woodland, we've never made these, I don't think. Woodland, tear off IFACs. Those are all online. If you order them tonight, they will ship to you tomorrow morning. Not sure what these are. H sets. A lot of tourniquet pouches. Multicam black mini packs, multicam black mini packs, multicam black red thread somethings. Hardin, Texas. John, what's up? Tom, how are you? Love to see more Woodland goodies. Who's the musician behind the keychain video? I'm not sure. Is it on TikTok or is it on Instagram? Because they're different. One of them is Jarris Johnson. And the other one is, I can't remember. Who got the text tonight? Live with Billy Nicole. You lit me up. Right on, man. Tyler Mallory, what's up? Perma Pastures, what's up? RDB, what's up? David Deal. Got my FAFO shirt today. What is FAFO? I'm sure I'm drawing a blank, but I have 400 shirts we've done this year. Is there anywhere near the compound to stay for people to stove up to Camp Rough? I want to attend the swale workshop. Vicky, you can camp here on the property. Or there are tons of campsites around here. Nathan Bedford Forest, Birdsong. There's a lot of camping. You said Camp Rough. I'm not sure what you mean by that. Allowed versus able. Just go camp in the forest if that's what we're talking about. Don't ask them. And also don't be seen. Nobody will know you're there. Leonard Fisher, what's up? Donald, how are you? Monica Parks, what's up? Travis Weaver, TikTok. It was on TikTok. That is, let me look. That's the dude I was actually talking about today. TikTok. I don't know why it's not. Oh, that's Jarris Johnson on TikTok. That was Jarris Johnson. Beehive Homestead, what's up? Wayne Lutz, how are you? Enjoyed the knowledge tonight on PPF with Billy, right on. Just found out my great-grandfather's farm is for sale in Tennessee. Would love to move to Tennessee. Are you in a position to buy it? Where in Tennessee is it? Not because I'm going to go try to buy it, and just passing conversation. Where in Tennessee is it? I mean like a motel, hotel, or my mobility is limited. Yeah, we have there's a couple. Look at Deerfield Inn in New Johnsonville, and look at Best Western in Camden. Both of them are about 15 minutes from the shop, if that. What sewing machine do I recommend for beginners? I don't recommend them. That's a big question, right? Hey, what kind of shoes should I wear? Well, what are you doing? Like, what is it you're trying to do? Sewing Machine, do you reckon we read that? Hey John, hope you're doing great. Is there any plans on making a smaller Ultra Maga Super Kit bag? Yes, there is. There is. Did you hear that conversation? Is that why you're asking? You thought you had heard something about that? Yeah, we're just not there yet. We haven't even built the big ones yet. After hearing the snippet twice now, I want to check out his music. Yeah, you'll like it. You'll like it. It's good stuff. He has a ton of content too. I feel like he used to probably be part of... Oh, I'm going to break this mirror. I'm trying to set off. I feel like he was probably part of some much bigger band that you've probably heard of, but I don't know for sure. Dale, heading home from work, right on. Just closed up shop. Going to listen on the drive. Prepared Patriarch, what up? Aurora Rings, what's up? All right, guys, come on. We can type it out. What do we want to discuss? We can talk about anything you want, but I cannot stand here and do this by myself. I have literally 400 more things that I need to be doing. And I've got 46 people on here and only 31 thumbs up. You guys have to raise those. Because whether you know it or not, half of the people that already did the thumbs up have already left the video. So there's way more of you than that number. Psst. What are you doing? Love the show with Jack and Nicole. Yeah, it's always a good time. Everyone getting ready for a weekend of GSD in Knoxville. Right on. I love Knoxville. There's tons of abandoned buildings in Knoxville. Tons of urban exploration stuff. 1.4 million. Now it's down to 600,000. Burrowville, Middle Tennessee. I've never heard of that place. I don't know where that is. What's the plans with the barrel stove? Heater for the row house. And it's like, for people that don't know what he's talking about, is I have a dual barrel stove, but it's in a sheet metal casing. So we can actually fill it with like diatomaceous earth or sand, and it'll work as a thermal sink. How to determine a niche. Don't want to enter with a product that is already saturated. You got to give me something more to go on. What are we talking about? Be the best. Have the better story. Be more likable, right? Are we going off your product, or are we going off you? If we can use both your product and you, you're going to make way more money. You're going to have a better relationship. Build community, build something that they want to be a part of, show up and be friendly, add value, upsell, have other things to sell them, branded merchandise, right? What's the product we're talking about, though? Witherspoon, what's up, John? Multicam Tropic, is that the big new thing? Looks good. No, it's a very old thing. We make some stuff out of Tropic. It's been around for, I don't know, a decade now, maybe 7 years. A lot of abandoned buildings on the north side. Oh yeah, Cincinnati has a ton of shit. Ton of stuff in Cincinnati. Memphis has some good stuff. There's a skyscraper there in Memphis with a revolving restaurant on the roof. The glass is all broken out. Last time I saw it, there were buzzards, vultures inside. Did you see they talk about the union strike on the 18th of the railroad workers? If that happens, shipping's going to get bad. I did see that. I did see that mentioned. I watched a video on that today. Still here with a thumbs up. First time here checking things out. Donald Carter, what's up, buddy? I just took a road trip from Washington State to Texas. Was blown away at how many towns had available commercial real estate. Yes. Yeah, everywhere does. It is said that over 50% of the restaurants in the United States are closed and not coming back. Found blossom in rot on tomato plants. So you need to what? Add calcium? Tums, I think, helps that. There's something too, like hydrogen peroxide helps some things too. I'm not sure what that was though. I'm not the plant guy, right? I water with chlorinated water. I sometimes fertilize with Miracle Grow. I know it's terrible, right? It's better than what 99% of the population's doing though. I also have a ton of rabbit manure and compost and all the real things also. And when I say Miracle Grow, I actually use Dr. Garrett's earth juice. For those gardeners, how's the garden going? Mine finally started. Mine looks pretty good. Let's go look at it. I can't go very far out here without losing signal, but you can kind of see it. I often question whether these lights draw bugs, but I don't have a lot of bug damage. That's all okra. There's some watermelons over there. My tomatoes look pretty miserable. I haven't watered yet tonight, and it's been 100 degrees today. Weapon Junkie, what's up? Charlie Wood, Strong Roots Resources, what's up? Sorry, side hustle. I'm very likable. My skills are education, K-12 to curriculum and instruction, but there are already tons of homeschooling curriculum. How does one enter that skill as profitable? I don't know. Homeschooling is not my thing. I don't know. What do you offer that somebody else doesn't offer? Maybe you go around and put it together to people who just haven't done it yet, right? Are they going to use like Waldorf? Are they going to use a Celis Academy? Do you have your own curriculum, or are you going to kind of package it? Maybe you do a hybrid where they come to you and you do the homeschooling with them. I don't know the answer. There's a lot of variables in there. Too much rain in Missouri. Our tomatoes are splitting and getting raw. Yeah, that's the biggest thing, right? That's why they grow them in hot houses, in row houses, because rain doesn't get on them. Garden is getting cooked in the sweet and the cuss and the Texas heat. Yeah, it's hot here too. Cheater tactic to fight blossom in rot, growing smaller tomatoes and trying more consistent with watering. Not 100% solution. So we get blossom in rot and blight. I only grow cherry tomatoes because they come ripe super fast, and we really don't use a lot of tomatoes. We don't eat a lot of tomatoes. So once we have them, I cut them in half with a tomato knife, and then I put them in the dehydrator and make sun-dried tomatoes. Be a tutor instead of total homeschool. Daughter has graduated now, but I would have paid $50 an hour. I think $50 an hour is even low. I think it depends on your area too. So in any business where you have a service or product, would you rather sell your service or product to people with a little money, or would you rather sell your service to people with a lot of money? And once you've branded and marketed, you will find that there's enough of either one. If you're good. Sandy Phillips, how are you? First time live stream, just seeing you on after watching Toolman Tim. I like Tim's stuff, man. I've met that dude in person. I like that guy. And I believe he's going to be here at our event in October. Tomatoes are nightshades. Yes, sir. What's up, Josh? How are you? Have you heard of this new law in California that is putting owner-operator truck drivers out of business? I did hear that. I heard about that today, yeah. Yeah, if you don't work for a company, if you're an owner-operator, you're not... Like, why are we even fucking with California, for real? Like, why are we... If I woke up tomorrow morning and they're like, California has fallen into the ocean, I'd smile. I'd be like, I've been... Anybody I know in California, I've been telling them for years to move. That's their bad luck now. Like... Not my problem. Should have moved. I bet there's a demand for a coordinator between homestead and farm wishing to host homeschool. I'll bet you're right. My favorite adult beverage. Well, let's go look at some booze. I want everybody to think every time they put alcohol in their mouth, every time you make a drink, I want you to realize that you are poisoning yourself a little bit. There is nothing beneficial. I don't give a shit what they tell you about wine. There is nothing beneficial health-wise when you drink alcohol. It retards your ability. It retards your ability to heal. It retards your ability to process thought. Might help you sleep a little better. But that's just because you've added that into your regimen and it's part of it now. But to answer your question, margarita. And I'll show you what I use and how I make a margarita. When I go to a restaurant and get a margarita, they're never good. They're either super sweet, like Kool-Aid. Here's my signed Jack Carr book. Super sweet like Kool-Aid, or they're just not good. I already do science classes. I think that's what I would focus on is science, right? I mean, I don't know that you could be the STEM person, right? Science, technology, engineering, math. Have really good hands-on things. That's the thing with a homeschooler and homesteader. There's so much that's there's so much on the property that carries into it. So most of this is tequila. Most of this, all of this is tequila. All of that is tequila. And what I use is about 2.5 fingers of tequila and a ton of salt. Like I want a 1-inch rim of salt. And the way I do that is I put the tequila in the glass. I dump the tequila into this bowl and I dunk the rim of the glass in there. And then I put it in here and kind of move it around like this. And I get a ton of salt. And then I pour the tequila back in the cup once it's rimmed. And then I top it off with this, which is also, you should consider this poison, right? It says 0 calories. But you need to know that alcohol will metabolize to sugar in your system. So while sure, tequila is 0 carb and it's keto friendly, it's not. That's bullshit. You have one occasionally, okay. If you have one every night, you're probably not in ketosis. So margarita at the next margaritas at the Tom. I'll drink one with you. You got to remind me who you are though, because when I see you in person, I won't know. Like all of you guys, just so you know, if you don't have a big social media presence or YouTube channel or something, when we talk to guys every night, I see the little avatar picture, right? When I see you in person, you don't look like that picture. And even if you do, it's like the tip of my little pinky finger. We really should all wear badges that have our avatar picture. And I don't know why guys do it, but they have different names across different social media platforms, which makes no sense whatsoever. So you'll talk to one guy on Instagram and then on Facebook, and come to find out it's the same dude. And we don't ever know that. The Knob Creek isn't tequila. No, of course it's not. Looks like a Wonder Emporium in your shop. Yeah, Mr. Megorium's Wonder Emporium or whatever it was. Lemony Snicket's. That's kind of what I was after, right? The uncle with the 3-eyed toad. Dumbledore's office, a dragon skeleton. I don't know, John. I carry around colorful balloons pretty often. I think you'll recognize me. Okay. When I see you, and I very well might recognize you. When I see you, just remind me of the conversation that we had. Hey, I'm the dude you said we'd have a margarita. As a child, I used to see this everywhere. And now you never see this. It's baleen from a whale. Was at the festival in spring. We talked about Knob Creek shoot. Right on. Do you think Bear would do a med class at Self-Reliance Festival? I don't know the answer to that. You heard what I heard. the thing with Bear, right, is the same thing as it is with me. We run multiple businesses. We have a farm, which we run, right? Homestead, all that stuff, right? Why do we have the Self-Reliance Festival? Because I want to know all these guys, and I can't go to their events. I can. It's just, what am I not doing by doing that? One of my space events, they had us wear the old school sticky name tapes, but under our real name, they had us use our social handles. That's a good idea, Monica. Chris Watkins, what's up, man? How was you visiting with the big bearded dude today, Andrew? I wish I could. How was you visiting with the big bearded dude today, Andrew? I wish I could have come, but can't get work off. I'm not sure what you're talking about. I don't know what we're talking about here. Seen your video this morning on all the tequila from a while back. You've got the whole where I just when I find stuff I like, I buy a lot of it. I want to have options, right? In the beginning of the Kufus, whose are these? I don't know whose speakers those are. In the beginning of the Kufus, I could not find Patron. Like in the local liquor store, okay, I could kind of see not being able to get Patron, okay. But we went to like big liquor stores, like the biggest ones in Nashville, and there was no Patron. Like I literally thought maybe they went out of business. So I started trying other things. I bought a couple bottles of a few different things, took them home, really liked them. So I bought cases of that stuff. And then I started tagging those companies in social media. And luckily, the ones that actually interacted were some of the ones that I liked. And then I continued to make videos and tag them in social media, and they shared some of my posts and interacted. And I think that goes a huge way in business if you interact with your clients on social media. Have I ever made a cop rig with stacked mag pouches? No, the medical, the shotgun trays won't work with them that way. I'm glad that there's a Self-Reliance event even close to my area, only an hour and a half away. Donald Carter, are we an hour and a half away from you? Where are you at? I'm in Camden, Tennessee, which is kind of between Memphis and Nashville. Well, it is between Memphis and Nashville. I like the flying monkey from the Wizard. Yeah, it's pretty cool, man. There's a lady out of Texas, and she does museum restorations, taxidermy, high-end taxidermy. She also made this piece over here. She's really good. Athens, Alabama. I need to come to Alabama. We do a lot of antique stuff, and we've not been to Alabama. And there is a ton of urban exploration stuff in Alabama. So this is a life-size tauntaun. A full mount that she does stands 13 feet tall. The challenge with Patron is Bacardi bought them. My boss made billions, but part of the soul of the company is gone. You're very right about that. You are very right about that, because the relationship I had with you early on really made me brand loyal with Patron. Like you, Jody, are a huge part of my loyalty to Patron. Plus, I like their product. But I typically am very, very brand loyal. We're hosting a Homesteader Prepper meetup and surplus swap in Knoxville first Sunday in August. That's neat. That's neat. I like Knoxville. What are the price on the tickets to Self-Reliance looking to come in October? Cody, the real truth is I don't know. But on selfreliancefestival.com, you can get on there and the price is there. And I know that the price raises. I'm expecting 1,000 people to this event this time. I think we had 653 last time. But every couple months, the price went up. So if you want to come, the earlier you buy it, the less it costs. Yeah, limited number of tickets. Yep. Tom says $75, and I think that comes with some meals. Been in corporate customer service for a while, and a little trick for good customer service is tagging a company's social media account in a complaint. The social media team is usually more empowered. So if you tag me in a complaint, I'm probably going to make an example of you. Like we do stuff very different. The customer is not always right. In fact, most times when the customer has a problem, the customer is actually wrong. So I do things, I am able to do what I do today because of the way I used to. We would tag customers, especially if they would cuss or be, angry or whatever. We would use them as an example. We would read their email, and I would tag them in the post, and I would use their name as a discount code. And to use their name as a discount code, you as the customer had to also tag them on social media. So it would literally shut their social media down. If you have a question about a thing, simply ask it. You didn't order it off social media, so you shouldn't be posting it on social media. You should send an email. If you ever want to contact my company about an order, every order you get comes with a confirmation email. Find that email and simply click reply. Because when you do, I see your query, I scroll down, and I can see every single piece of information that I need to know about your order. But when guys get on social media, dude did it today, on a post that had nothing to do with anything he ordered, and he's like, can you tell me where my order is? Or can you check on my order or whatever? I don't know who the fuck you are. You didn't include an order number. You didn't include what you ordered. And it definitely had nothing to do with the post that you did comment on. People do that because they want to shame the company into doing what they want them to do. You can do that, but chances are you will never be able to comment or fucking receive content from that page again. So yes, while you can do that, you need to also remember a lot of people's social media is not handled by the company. Mark Cougar, what's up? Perma Pastures, what's up? Thumbs up. How's everyone doing? Lunchtime here in Australia. Hey, Raymond, what's up? Raymond, did I send you an email today? This is why I like your videos and content, 100% real. Yeah, you might not agree with me all the time, but you'll definitely know what I think. And people are like, well, I don't like whatever. Well, you need to remember, you're in my house right now. I didn't come and knock on your door and start yelling at you. You came here. Alphabet stock is splitting tomorrow, 5 p.m. Is anyone else buying? 20-1 split. Wow. Customer complaint equals discount code. Sometimes. Like we're really too busy for it now. You don't see us do it very often. Dude, Amanda sent out a text message last night or night before about orange thread multicam black tool bags. And a dude's like, I've been waiting for my order for, I don't know how long, 3 months, let's say. 3 months for my belt. But you guys don't build my order. God forbid. Just, keep building these bullshit multicam black orange thread tool bags. Yeah, fuck off, right? So Amanda's like, hey, good news, your wait's over. Your order's been canceled and refunded. So what does he do? He doesn't reply to Amanda. He fucking sends me an email. And he's like, why is my order canceled? I'm like, I don't know. That's literally, I typed it out. I don't know. But I see Amanda canceled your order. I go, which is weird because I built your order today. It was a sling with a cobra buckle, right? It was a cobra sling and with something else. A couple little things. I said, I built your thing today. I don't know why. So I hit Amanda and I'm like, hey, why'd you cancel this dude's order? It's $184. I built it. It's ready to ship. She's like, boom, and sends me the forward. And I go, oh, I see why your order was canceled now. When you took issue with this shit and you did your passive aggressive shit, that's why your order's canceled. He's like, and he emailed me once and emailed Amanda like 3 more times. He's like, well, I really like your stuff. It's the best. Had I known that anybody was even going to see that, I wouldn't have typed it out. Well, what the fuck did you think was going to happen? What did you think was going to happen? Well, good news. Your wait is over. Your order's been canceled. Somebody else will be more than happy to buy it. I saw the 3-month belt tiger paw. That's what I'm talking about. Like, how the fuck do I know what you're... And people don't realize too, right? Nicole said this yesterday, and I thought, wow, that is actually what I do too. So Nicole said, I spend the first half of the day working on revenue, right, business, and I spend the second half of the day working on homestead. Well, I go outside a lot of mornings. On a morning when it's not 100 degrees, going to be 100 degrees, right? I'm outside at 9 o'clock. Amanda makes breakfast for all the employees that want to eat breakfast at 9 o'clock. As she's about done with that, I go outside with the four-wheeler and I take a bunch of scrap food and kitchen clean out, and I take the egg basket and anything else, feed, whatever I need to haul up the hill on the four-wheeler. And I'm out there for about 30 minutes. And if I have a camera with me, I'm out there for 45 minutes. That's a lot of the on day on the compound videos. That's when they're filmed. And then in the evenings and stuff and through the day too. But when my phone vibrates, if I happen to have my phone, if I'm changing podcasts or whatever, and I look at that notification, I'm outside. I'm covered in dirt. I'm wet and sweaty. My screen's kind of acting weird on my phone because it's so humid. But I've already seen the notification. I can't reply to you because I don't have the information, and I've already seen the notification. So the notification, like, people don't realize, like, I do all of my social media, all of it. And I post to almost 10 different platforms. It's not that we don't want to, it's that we literally just can't fucking do it. So, but the real answer is, when that dude posted on my Instagram page, the answer I wanted to type out is, how the fuck would I know? You didn't order it on Instagram. That's the real answer. You didn't fucking order it from Instagram. Why are you on Instagram here? Because I damn sure don't have an email from you about it, because if I did, you would have already had an answer, because I answer the emails literally fucking 20 times a day. Iridium Group. Did you buy a fucking Hummer? That's cool. I'm good, brother. How are you? Kirby, what's up, buddy? Just home for the day. Kirby, you run through Memphis. Have you ever seen the old Marine Corps hospital there? It's supposed to be super haunted. Or the by Bass Pro Shop across from Mud Island is a skyscraper about a block back. It's the tallest building down there. And it's got a rotating restaurant on the roof. Have you ever seen that place? The things you do on the internet has real life consequences. But that's a lot of it, right? and sometimes they don't mean anything. They literally don't mean any ill by it, right? But what they don't realize is, I like to tell my kids and my younger people, it doesn't matter what you said. It only matters what I heard. That's it, right? It doesn't matter what you said. It only matters what I hear. And a lot of times by that I mean there's no inflection in text or email. So you might have been very benign, or maybe you're a little autistic and you don't have inflection, right? Maybe you didn't mean shit by it, but what you typed out is not necessarily how they read it. And then you have dudes that just say what they want to say because they've never been punched in the mouth. Never, right? These guys, you've got these dudes running around, running their mouths, who have never had repercussion to anything they've done because they've been protected, right? They weren't allowed to play tackle football, and they didn't even play touch football. They didn't play flag football, right? They're not allowed to have any kind of physical repercussion or physical gain, right? So they're so used to saying those things, and every now and then they get out in public and say some shit, and somebody literally slaps them like a bitch, right? It's because they forgot where they were. There's no repercussion. But sometimes you get the person and you do get repercussion. There is repercussion for your actions. Like, you're not ever going to come in here and tell me how my employee was mean to you. Like, I'm always going to have my employees back. That's always going to be the case. And when I started saying things like that, this all started when a dude sent a really shitty email to Amanda on a Thursday night or Friday. I think it was Friday night, actually. And we were home, and she played the voicemail. It was a voicemail. She played it. So I typed it all out, wrote it down, and said, hey, tell these people it's not nice to cuss fucking Amanda out. But I put his phone number up there, and I tagged him on it in Facebook. And the next morning, there was over 1,000 comments on that. And it was mostly people going, man, I wish my boss would have my back like that. I wish I could say what you say at work. And you can see examples of this all the time. Because if you want to see an example of this, go to a chain restaurant, like a lower-end chain restaurant, right? Like Ruby Tuesdays or some shit like that. Because there's always a bunch of fucking people in there. And there's always a couple, you can tell, because their kids are bouncing off the fucking walls, and they've got, it looks like a fucking trash heap around their table, because they don't fucking pay attention to their kids or make their kids do what they should do. It's those people. And the dude's eating half the steak, and then he's shitty to the waitress, demands to see the manager, and tells the manager how his steak wasn't cooked right. Never mind that he already ate half of it. But corporate policy is to diffuse the situation so that he doesn't get any louder, and then reward the situation so that he will come back, right? So all you did was reward the behavior. You can see it, go to Best Buy, go to Walmart, go to any store that has a customer service desk when you walk in. A lot of times we go to Walmart, I'll go to the customer service desk first, just because I know there's going to be some asshole there berating the little girl that his Chinese shit broke, right? She has nothing to do with it, doesn't have any control over it. Also remember, when you're talking to people, oftentimes the person you're talking to can either give you what you want, or they can keep you from getting what you want. And also remember, a lot of times it doesn't matter if you're right or wrong, especially in an altercation. You might be 100% right. That asshole took your parking space, and you went up and said some shit, and he was just having a worse day than you were, and he fucking shoots you and paralyzes you, and you're in a wheelchair the rest of your life, or you limp the rest of your life. Sure, he can go to prison for the rest of his life. Sure. It doesn't change the fact that it has altered the course of your life. And had you simply walked away, that would have not happened. I have too many of these in here. Somebody want some of these? A lot of folks are real big on the phone and emails. And hell yeah, for backing your people. Giving in to that bully stuff creates more bully. It does. It rewards the behavior. It rewards the behavior. It's the only adrenaline dump those guys have ever got. Because they would damn sure not do that shit in person. People have not been punched in the face over the internet, so they never learn. Are cowards. Yeah, people don't realize, like, you're lucky there's not a button that says disintegrate or light that motherfucker on fire, because there's times that I would push it. I'm like, I'm going to light you on fire. How long does it take to start to finish and bang out a micro rig? I don't know. So patrol vest, right? One of our LBVs, those are 14 hours. And that's 14 hours with me building it. So add 20%, 30% onto that time. On these micro rig, I don't even see it. Here's one. I'll bet I could build this in, I don't know, 3 hours maybe. I don't know. We do like 24 in a day, and we don't have full crew working on them. But we built, like when I built that rig, we built that rig at a low price point. So this one here, the first ones weren't camo. So this camo here, there's more work in the cover than in building it and putting the Velcro on the lid, right? Because the others are just the lids, they're just webbing. But this, we actually have to fold this in here, fold it in here, sew it, and then sew it on the face. And then anything with color in it takes twice as long. We're literally building it twice if it has color thread in it. We do not charge enough at all for contrast thread. That's why you don't see companies do it. Go find another company that's fucking putting colored thread in anything. You'll be hard pressed to find them, and when you do, they look like shit. Some people foolishly believe their keyboards are battle axes. Yeah, yeah. It's Everlasting Action Jackson. Glad I made it to the live stream tonight. Thought I need to be in bed early. You can still go to bed. Go get in bed. Don't worry, I'll have your heart beating really fucking rapidly sometime in the near future. Can you get non-contrast thread? Yeah, that you just order black or you order whatever, right? Like this is non-contrast right here. This is a black fanny pack. I designed this a few months ago because I wanted it. This is the first time we've done black. We just ran tear-off IFACs. We haven't made these things in a long, long time, especially in Coyote. We just ran Woodland tear-off IFACs. These are the big ones. We actually made these for a Special Forces unit. We had a contract for 550 of them. That's where this came from. It was a combat controller we worked with. He was chopped to CAG, and they did very, very high-speed shit. But that's where the original design came from. And the first batch, we did ACU, and then we did multicam. But we just ran these in Woodland. We've never run them in Woodland before. I have multicam black red thread, so that's contrast thread right there. Multicam black red thread. Mini packs, those will be done tomorrow. This is a bag I made for my friend Drac. He had a Typhon red thread. This is a contrast thread bag also. So we made a Typhon bag for Drac, and it got stolen out of his car. He's like, can I buy it? Can I get another one, right? I'm like, yeah, I got you, bro. He's like, could we contrast it and do it raid with Typhon? I'm like, anything you want. So this was red, and then I've got a fanny pack and a tool bag, just like it coming. But it's pretty neat, right? Knowing me, I'll have my Bluetooth in while I'm laying down in bed. So I'll get in bed like an hour before Amanda maybe sometimes, right? And I'll just like, I need to go to sleep early. So I'll just toss and turn. So I'll put on an app, like not an app, but if you go to YouTube and you just put in like sleep sounds, and most of it's thunderstorms or cracking fireplace or whatever. The first time I did it, because here's what happens, and this is maybe it's real, maybe it's not. When there's no noise, I think about things. And while I think about things, I don't go to sleep. But I believe if you're intaking sound, it keeps your mind from thinking about things and you get into a more restful state. You get into REM sleep faster. And it worked like a couple times, and now it doesn't do shit. There's times when I'll sneak off and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go upstairs and I'm gonna take a nap for 20 minutes, right? I got up. I want to get up at 4:30, but this morning I woke up at 2 o'clock wide awake, tossed and turned until 2:30, got up at 2:30. So I have 2.5 hours of sleep. I'm going to sneak off. I'm going to get a 20-minute nap. I put that fucking app on, and then in 20 minutes, I haven't even gone to sleep. So I don't know whether it works or not. Love the sleep sounds on YouTube. So the thing about YouTube is my screen has to stay on because I haven't bought their YouTube Red thing, right? So be aware. On your podcast apps, they all have sleep sounds also. Man, falling asleep to history documents is the trick for me. Man, if I need to go to sleep, all I have to do is read. I won't get through the second page before I'm asleep. Amanda, hell no, they would not, because is where consequences would come to bear. Tony Robbins, try Tony Robbins. Oh, I love Tony Robbins. I have probably listened to every single piece of content that Tony Robbins has put out. A lot of my stuff comes from Tony Robbins, whether I'm aware of it or not, right? All the things these guys say nowadays, all the modern guys, they're all saying shit that Rohn said or Tony Robbins. And even Tony Robbins nowadays, like, he says the word fuck now. Like, Tony Robbins has kind of changed a little bit. Pick the ones that do black screen when listening. My mind races too much if I don't have noise to listen to. So they have white, like, noise generating speakers. A fan works really well. Like our apartment upstairs here, we have an apartment here. There's no windows in the building, so it's super dark. And then the apartment is basically a giant room inside the shell of the building with catwalks all the way around. So it's very sound deadened, and I can get it to 55 degrees upstairs in the apartment. So I can have it super cold. I have zero daylight coming in. And a big part of it, if you really want to get better sleep, remove all the electronics from your room. Remove the clock. Not a red clock, not a blue clock. Move the fucking clock to where you cannot see it. So when you're not waking up to look to see what time it is, your body will get used to that. When the sound goes off, it will wake you up. Plus, all you guys that sleep through your alarms, put your alarm on the other side of the room so you have no choice but to get up. My dogs snore pretty loud, so I use the noise to drown them out. Fan, yeah. I want one of the M1 Grand rigs you just showed the other day. John, order it up, man. Order it up. Jump online and order it. And then you can come pick it up or whatever. We removed clocks from our room years ago, and it did wonders. Awesome. Monica, right on. Best sleep means cold, dark, white noise. There you go. Yeah, and the fan can be white noise. I love the sleep videos, but the downside is I do end up passing out with my Bluetooth in, and I wake up with no earpiece, and the rubber things will be missing. Good news. Good news. If you get on Amazon, the silicone things, you can buy them by the packages. You can buy like a dozen sets of them. Listen to Jim Rohn? Yeah, I've listened to Jim Rohn. I've listened to all of them, man. Listen to all of them. As a kid, there was no CD. There was no DVD. There was no Bluetooth. There was no mini disc. Like, when I was a child, I remember my parents having 8-track, right? When you wanted to get that shit, you had to buy them from a truck stop, or you had to check them out from a library. Daily texts from Amanda are great. Good heads up. Clark, I agree. So I'm sitting probably at about 60,000 on our email list. And I'm very proud of that because we don't merge them. We don't buy them. We don't sell them. Those are real people that had to push in and put all their information in. Even if it auto-populates, you still had to push the button 3 times for it to happen. So those are real customers, right? Real, or at least real people that signed up for our email list. But our text message list, we're sitting at about 2,500 right now. When we put out a text message, we used to put it out a couple hours earlier because we were bribing people to join our text app. We only put the text out 15 minutes or even 5 minutes before the email now because every single thing we had sold out off the text. Because those are real viable customers. And every now and then, like, you'll see the unsubscribes and the reason, and dudes are like, you send out too many fucking emails, you piece of shit. Like, people really say this. Like, they really think, like, I won't fuck you up, right? It's just a trip how people will fucking let their tongue go. Like, I'll take your fucking emails and publish them. Like, it's a trip. People do not realize the repercussions of their actions. But you signed up for the email. Like, you put your shit in. We didn't put your phone number into our text app. You did that. And the crazy shit is, there's an unsubscribe. All you have to do is click the box and you unsubscribe. But when you're shitty, other shit will happen. And I don't even have to do it. The world will, karma will bring it to you. Something bad will happen to you when you do negative shit. Feel privileged to be a part of the 20. Tyler, man, that's your doing, buddy. That's because you weren't lazy and you took action. That's the biggest hindrance in people's life is inaction. They just don't act. They want to talk about it. They would rather be part of a group, right? Because they feel accomplished by being part of a group and making enough posts in a prepper group or whatever. But they don't actually do any of that stuff. They don't do any of that stuff. Guzman, what's up? Are you running lunch bags again in the future? I will for you. Send me an email. I will for you. I just built those wallets because you wanted them, right? They're nice too, man. I really like that multicam black on the woodland. Thank Amanda and John for the text, especially if Amanda replies to my response about YouTube or whatnot. Brian Fraser, what's that, buddy? Brian Fraser, Brian, don't you have some pit bulls, right? Is that you? Seems like some people would rather relish being miserable than take simple steps not to be. Grumpy Acres. I think that's true, right, though? Because you build momentum. If you build positive momentum, you're going to do more positive shit. If you build negative momentum, you're going to be, because I'm guilty myself, right? I can get around a group of people and they're talking shit about somebody and I'll have something to say. Why? What is it? How does it gain it from me? But I got a buddy who owns a really successful meat processing business, right? And he was standing here and I had another friend here and we were talking about something and my boy said, I don't do negative shit. I don't do drama. Anytime I hear drama, I just walk away. I go, you know what? You're right. You're right, because we're gaining nothing and we can change nothing by this. You are fucking right. And that has stuck with me in a heavy way for, the last couple months. And I know it, but to hear somebody else unrelated to it to say something similar, right? You're going to get what you put out there. And if you're putting negative shit out, you got more negative shit coming to you. Klondike Outdoors, what's up? Thank you for being here. I'm having a great night. People are miserable, truly want to spread that misery. Right. If you get next to a dude, right, you haven't seen this dude since high school, or you guys just both your lives got busy, right? You haven't seen each other for a year. When you come together, if the people you are meeting are telling you about people you don't know, you don't need to be around those people. If we're not going to talk about present, if we're not going to talk about you and I, we don't need to be having the conversation. I don't need to know about people I don't know. And I especially don't need to know how you're upset with things in your life. Great Wolf, what's up, buddy? How are you? I saw your fucking parking lot was packed tonight. Fucking good for you, man. Strother, how are you? Can you make custom tool rolls for individual tools? Nah, we can't. Can I? Yes. Will I? I won't. I would love to tell you yes. I have 1,000 projects like that and every intention to do it, but I won't do that, because what it comes down to is, what does it cost you? How much do you have to pay me to sit here on Saturday and do that rather than do something else I want to do on Saturday? And I always kick myself in the ass, right? Because my response used to be, yeah, $1,000. But then people would be like, okay, where do I send the money? I'm like, shit, I should have said 2,000. Because I want to do other things. Attitude and determination. Altitude. Oh, I like that. Yeah, I like that, Nomad. German word Schadenfreude means to take pleasure in other people's misery. Shoot, you may have been asked this, but how long will you be making diaper bags? Are they big enough to put 12-inch, 14-inch AR handgun in? I think that you can. I'm not positive. And we are not making diaper bags. I have a couple existing orders for them. I don't think you can even order one. And the way you get a diaper bag right now is you send me an email and you tell me what color diaper bag you make. And then I go to Cody and I'm like, hey, this dude's baby's due in next month. Run this in the next couple days. And we run it. And then I send you an email and say, hey, here it is. That's how you get one. Are you using an Apple phone? I can't see it either, but my wife's, I'm not sure what we're talking about there. You're going to have to make another Class A and up your fee. So absolutely you need to. And if anybody runs a business and you're thinking of having the conversation of upping your fee, just ask yourself what you have to pay more of, right? All of your fuel is up. If you have electricity, all of your electricity is up. Your rent is probably up or is going to go up. Yes, absolutely raise your price. I give employees raises, right? I don't feel bad at all about raising some of my prices. New to the channel because Jaeger talks highly of SOE. Alpha Dad, welcome, man. 35. I know you did. I drove past there. I said to Amanda, I go, holy shit, look how many vehicles are there. And you have to think, he has a lot of kids that don't have cars that come too. So there's more people than that even in there. Kind of funny, I have to have family like that. Just hate negative spiral. So remove yourself. Do not be as accessible. Think about this, right? I was talking to a dude today, and he's like, I just bought a place in California for my dad because my dad won't leave California. How much longer is your father going to be around? Is he going to be around 5 more years, 10 more years, 15 more years? When is the excuse going to be gone? And I'm not saying bail dad. When I left California, mom's like, when are you coming to visit? Mom, I'm never coming to visit. I will move you here. I will fly you here. I will buy you a house here. I'll get an Uber and have them drive you all the way here from California. However you want to get here. If you want to see me, you're going to have to come here. But I need you to know I'm never stepping foot back in California. Everybody has a reason and family and whatever. If you left, would they come visit you? And the answer is probably no. So why the fuck are you staying there? Half of them were families, 3+. That's good shit, dude. That's good shit. That means you're doing, like, it's growing. Like, you can see it. There's evidence of it. Grumpy Acres. I feel the same way. It's a shame because I love the beaches. So I do too, but do I really love the beaches, right? I lived so close that sometimes the beach came into my apartment. That's how I was like, I lived on the beach, right? I tell you, I like diving, I like skiing, I like all these things, right? And Scully pointed out, he's like, because I would always say, I'm like, California's so awesome. We can go and, we can be scuba diving at midnight and we can be skiing by noon. He's like, yeah, but how many times did we do that? Once? It's neat. You like the idea of it. Do I really miss it? I fucking don't. I don't. You want to go to a beach? We'll go to fucking Cancun or Cozumel or, we'll go to real beach, right? Go, get it out of your system, come back home. I hate sand. Hate sand. I've got over 1,000 dives. 10 of them maybe were beach, right? Because once you got your fucking certification, you don't have to beach dive anymore. Starting to do weapons-based grappling classes at least once a month. Yeah, that'll be cool with those fucking shock knives and things. They drove all the people like you out of California so they can have it to themselves. Maybe so. There are still good people there. It baffles my mind that people will stay there. Like, they don't realize how much of a slave they are. Like, literally, when we crossed the border, my money tripled. And I say all the time, like, we drove right into Arizona and stopped at a gas station and bought fireworks at the gas station and lit the fireworks off at the gas station. They'd arrested every one of us. They'd arrested my whole family for doing that shit in California. Brian, I don't, man. I had an entire dive locker. I left 3 fucking boats in San Diego. Fucking Zodiacs, Achilles, and I had a F470 I left there. I don't even know how many tanks, 30 probably, steels and aluminums, I left all my Ziegel buoyancy compensators, all my reg. I left all the dive stuff stayed in San Diego. I've not dove since I left San Diego. Figueroa, what up? Newsom running for president. Is that true? Is that true? Isn't Newsom's California, right? Do I have that wrong? Running, shut the fuck up. Not you. But I heard Trump announce today he's running for president. Can you store fuel in clear plastic? Hope 15 55-gallon drums and 50. Yeah, so are we talking about like real 55-gallon drums? Yeah, you can. You can. Yep. Now keep in mind when you do that, right? Anytime you're storing bulk liquid by the gallon, the larger the container, typically, the larger the container, the less it costs per gallon to store the fuel. Now, 55-gallon drums is 55 times what? 8 pounds, 7 pounds? That's a lot of weight. Like your wife and your kid are never moving that. You most likely are not moving it. You could put it on its side and roll it, sure. But like I have gravel everywhere on my property. I couldn't move it outside. I mean, I have equipment to move it, right? But even with like a drum dolly, I could roll it around in here and in the garage, but I can't roll it on gravel. And even on a dolly, like if you think, oh, I'll just put it on a big wheel dolly, you might want to try that shit. Some guys could move it. A lot of guys can't move it. But a 15-gallon drum, 15 gallons, you can manhandle that. You can move that. And 5 gallons, your wife can move. So just like keep that in mind, right? The best way to store fuel, if we're going to store a lot of fuel, is just to buy an elevated tank and store fuel in an elevated tank. I have a 550-gallon tank. I have 2 300-gallon tanks, and I have another 350-gallon tank. I also have 100 fuel cans, like NATO metal fuel cans, probably well over 100. And then I have a bunch of plastic ones, right? The plastic ones are very convenient. They're light. They have that nozzle so you can fill things easily with them. In my opinion, Newsom may be the only person able to destroy the country faster than Biden. Maybe, man. Maybe. San Francisco is as pretty as Pelosi in a bikini. I heard she got some huge titties. I didn't see that picture of her, but I heard that just came out. Am I wrong, or was she banging JFK? She was JFK's intern, right? Would you continue the beginning of SOE series on Patreon somehow? John, would you continue the beginning of SOE on Patreon? I forgot I even have a Patreon. I forgot all about it, actually. California's all moving to Houston, yeah. And Nashville. Nashville is very Californianized. Pick up plastic fuel cans at estate auctions and garage sales. So the plastic fuel can thing, absolutely. Pick them up at estate auctions, sure. Those ones right there are $22. They come from Tractor Supply, and I'm telling you, I've bought every fuel can out there in the world up until probably 2 years ago. I could put together a 200-page publication on fuel cans. And not just because I read some shit. Like, we did all of it, every bit of it. But those cans right there, they're $22. If you smell fuel, your can's leaking. If you smell fuel, you're losing lightweight volatiles. The lightweight volatiles are the part of the fuel that combusts and explodes. If you're not smelling fuel, you're probably not losing. Those cans seal up really good right there, the Tractor Supply ones. I've got a bunch of VP cans. I've got all kinds of round cans, square cans, you name it. The NATO jerry cans, they're about $100 a piece. but I can keep 6 of them in the back of my truck, and in 110-degree weather, they swell way up, but they never vent. They don't ever piss fuel, they don't vent. And then in the winter, they create a vacuum and they suck in and concave. They also don't leak. So if you're not smelling fuel, you're not losing that. So keep that in mind. DeSantis and Candace Owens as VP. So Candace lives here in Nashville. I know some people that know her, not like ran into her, know her, right? I have some friends that know her. She moved here to work with Shapiro. Recently, Jordan Peterson just signed on with Shapiro. He's moving, I believe they're moving to Nashville also, or he has, I believe, him and his wife. I was hoping the 503 secret would come out on the beginning SUV videos. You did one a few months ago, told up until jail on that one. I'll have to see where that stopped at. 15-gallon drum, HDPE is a convenient size, fits perfectly on a dolly if you need to move them. Have you tried putting fuel in an IBC tote? So I haven't tried it. You could totally do it. And we have tractors. I mean, we have forks and stuff. Like at this point, we have forklifts. I have man pushable forklifts, and then I have a set of pallet forks. Not that like bolt onto my bucket, but actual replace the bucket. And I could lift an IBC tote up to the top level in this building if I needed to. So chlorine is also a gas. If you let the water sit, will it also do the same as gasoline? So chlorine, are we talking about chlorinated water? If you pull water out of your sink, sometimes you smell a lot of chlorine, sometimes you don't. If you smell a lot, it's because they just shocked their system. They probably had an open pipe. And if you take a glass of that chlorinated water, you can almost see the gas coming off of it. Pour it back and forth between a couple of cups, maybe a dozen times. It will off-gas the chlorine. Is that what you're asking? Wrench rolls, if you haven't seen these, here, I'll show them to you. That's a 1 and a 24, right? So it holds big wrenches. And each of these slots, you can put 2. And the reason we did that was so that you can put all of your metrics and all of your standards in the same roll. And these are multicam blacks, what we have. And then my buddy sent me this the other day, and it's been here for probably a month. I haven't opened it. And I think this is the pre-production sample because we're doing a tomahawk with them. So this one's not stamped with our logos in it, and it's pretty cool because they stamp the logos, right? They're not just lasered in. Never thought I'd say that. I mean, I remember when lasers were brand new, but pretty cool. Yeah, this is RMJ. You gotta be careful with these things, man. So they have some belt loops, right? So you pull it down, or it goes on the molly on your pack, and you pull it. And when you want to get it out of here, you automatically want to hold this, right? It will cut like all of the fat will fall out of your hand. It's a really serious cut. I have cut myself a half a dozen times just on pulling those things out of there. Not with this one. Vicky Savage, what's up? How are you? The Tilly cart is key. Tap them with a ball valve, and they can sit on their side and easily fill 5-gallon cans via ground. I don't know what we're talking about there. I keep my diesel in 55-gallon drum. Got it, okay. But I also bought a drum hand truck and tilt. Gotcha. The Stones in Georgia got finished up with demo crew. I wonder if the mysterious people rebuild it. Nah, probably not. Who made the hatchet? The guys that did the demo in the spring at your place had good stuff. That's them. That's RMJ Tactical. That's my boy right there. The Jade. I've known Jade for, 30 years probably. Tennessee has no state income tax. That's true. That begs to be hooked onto the back of a neck. Yeah. Living in Kentucky versus Tennessee. Any benefits to one over the... Gotcha, I see what you're saying. Isaac, I'm not selling it yet. This one they sent. This is mine. They just sent it to me. We're going to take probably this model and do this. I'm gonna want a little different red on it. Our red, and we actually have a Pantone for our red. We use a very specific red. So it'll be a little brighter red, and then it'll have SOE logos in it. Hey, Charlie Wood, Great Wolf there. He's got a TikTok. He's pretty active on TikTok. It's worth subscribing to his page. He puts up some good content. You should follow him. Bust open a lock with it. No, fuck no. I'll scratch my paint. When the day comes that I need to open some locks, we'll definitely bust a lock open with it. But right now, it's pretty and shiny. But if you were here, you know that they can bust a lock open. There's a lot of good demos on what those... They can cut cars open with them. They break and rake windshields out with them. Like, they're pretty cool if you haven't seen all the uses for a tomahawk like that. Or a hatchet. Currently in Wise County, Virginia. I know you are, but what are you doing there? Is that a school or a church or what? Here's my other one. This is the one I cut the shit out of myself with. Needs to be christened in the blood of my enemies. So, unfortunately, I think that time is probably coming. But the enemies will probably, I probably won't know those enemies when the time comes. Window breaker for sure. Would actually be cool to see carbide tip spike model just for that. So Tyler, a lot of people don't realize Mick at Strider made some cool hatchets, and it had the head could be changed out, had 2 pull pin detents you pull out, these pins, and you could put a hammer head on there, or you could put a like a Warhawk beak on there. Ice Axe kind of did all kinds of shit. See them break open the lock at your place. That is some good steel, not to bend or snap. Got it. All right, guys, I'm out of here. Have a good night. Do me a favor. Anything of value or entertainment, entertain, educate, anything like that in here for you, click send and send this to somebody and tell them. And if you're ever watching this video, there's a button on there you can click that'll download just that part of the video, and you can email it or you can repost it on your own media, in case you didn't know that. And if you use Amazon, if you go to any of my YouTube videos and look at the notes, there's usually a link to Amazon there. If you click that link, it'll take you to Amazon. But by clicking that link and going to Amazon, I get 1 to 2% of anything you buy in the next 24 hours. So do that for me. Think of it as taking money away from Amazon and giving it to somebody who you care about, right? And if you're here and you don't like me, because there are some of you, which is baffling, do it for some other content creator, right? Give the money to somebody else. Yeah, the permapasture. Why can't I say that? Permapasture farms. I think that was a really good video we did tonight. Chris, I'm sure that I will run into you soon, my friend. Iridium, good night, buddy. Closed school that we're staying at and working on a trailer for a great family, putting in floors and rear porch. Very cool, very cool. Sandy Phillips, good night. Great Wolf, I'm sure I'll see you soon. All right, guys, I'm out. Thank you. Thanks for being here.